thank you also, Bosco conference team, for giving us this opportunity to speak at your event. To regulate the unregulated. The governments all over the world, all the sovereign powers, G20, the European Union, the USA and SCC, Russia, China, Japan, and many other countries all over the world and jurisdictions are trying just desperately to regulate the unregulated, to regulate cryptocurrencies and blockchain. For those of us who are in the crypto space since 2016 or 2017, when it boomed the first time, we find it very hard to believe what we are currently seeing, that all these sovereign powers, they want to be part of it. They try to find an international common standard, an international legal framework for cryptocurrency activities. Bitcoin, when it was created, its sole intention was to work independently from the governments. Its legal and corporate design as a legal and financial instrument was to replace the inflation fiat currencies struggle with when they print more and more money and they inject them in the economy. Therefore, Bitcoin, when it was created in such a way that no centralized government can control it. That is the reason why we say Bitcoin is a decentralized virtual currency. There is no central body, no company behind it, no government behind it, controlling it in any possible way. That is why we see a significant rise since its creation. If we get all the all-time lows on an annual basis, we are going to see how Bitcoin is climbing since creation. We don't calculate the all-time highs of each year. We get the all-time lows. So if you are an investor and you buy it for the long run, so far you would never lose. You would only make profits. That's why more and more people, slowly, they understand the value Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and blockchain have and will have in the economy. Also, the number of Bitcoins that we have and it's been already mined is limited. From day to day, it's harder to mine it, and the supply is limited to 21 million only. Now, let's go back to regulations. Now that we gave an introduction of how cryptocurrencies work and how it was created and with the economy and everything. Why some governments are in favor and why some governments are against it. To say about the favor of digital currencies, well, they are in favor because one reason, they are afraid of staying behind. The fear of being left behind, especially when they see jurisdictions implementing this regulatory framework and they see that more investors and more companies come into space, they say, why should we be left behind? Other reason is because of the technology. Technology is going through that way. Do you believe that in 20 years we are still going to have paper money? Another reason is because it helps, of course, the country, the jurisdiction, to go to a next level. On the other hand, we have some other jurisdictions that they are against it. Here we see the jurisdictions that are against it. They are basically, one of the reasons is because you can hide who the ultimate beneficial owner is of the cryptocurrencies. Also, no legal entity is required to be behind a crypto account. You can easily open a crypto account to any exchange, or you can use your a crypto wallet for the cryptocurrencies, and no one can know who is the real owner of these cryptocurrencies. And you might have millions, even billions, and they cannot identify who you are. So because of the anonymity, the secrecy, and the privacy, some jurisdictions, they are against it. Now, how COVID-19 changed things with crypto and blockchain. This is a presentation that Dr. Justins will present later on. I will just give this slide before I speak more about the international regulations. Technology is rising very fast since the start of the pandemic. According to a report from McKinsey Global Survey of Executives, their companies have accelerated the digitization of their customer and supply chain interactions and of their internal operations by 3 to 4 years. Imagine, in only a few months, they went 3 to 4 years in front. Technology is therefore driving regulations to implement for the favor of digital banking, the cryptocurrencies. Also, the virus changed the way we internet. According to Ella Coase and Nathaniel Popper, one example they gave is Amazon. We all know Amazon, how it skyrocketed. We couldn't go out for shopping. We were buying everything from Amazon and from other websites and electronic platforms. Now, we don't have regulations, as we said. No, we don't have international common regulations, but how do we classify the cryptocurrencies? What is the international acceptance we have with crypto? We are not going to speak about the taxation. Taxonomy is just to classify how we view each type of token internationally. We have a wide range of crypto assets. After the creation of Bitcoin, thousands of crypto altcoins, we call them, have been created. Ripple XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and many, many others. There are different type of crypto assets, and each type of crypto asset can be used for a different purpose. Today, their use is not just for a payment purpose. It's also for the use of investment purposes, also for utilization purposes. Sometimes crypto assets can have more than one purpose, more than one mean simultaneously. We call them in the crypto space, the lawyers, we call them hybrids. Hybrids is when it has the characteristic of a utility token, meaning that you can utilize that token in the platform to do something with it, to get a bonus or any reason whatsoever to buy something with it. Also, it can have the characteristic of a security instrument, meaning that it's an investment, meaning that by holding this token, there is an expectation of profit, just by holding it, like a share. At present, there is no common taxonomy internationally. There is one framework that we managed to have an international common standing, but we cannot say that we have internationally found the solution, not yet at least. Now we classify them in 3 ways. First way is for payment, exchange, and currency tokens. Second way is an investment token, holding it for investment purposes with the expectation of profit. And number 3 way is for the utilization purpose, when a token is utility. There are certain differences when it comes to laws and regulations. Very important to mention that there are many governments all over the world that they have brought forward legislations for cryptocurrencies. Some examples, of course, is Malta. Malta is being defined to be the blockchain island. Also Estonia. Estonia also is a very good jurisdiction if you have an exchange, which really it's the platform where traders go and trade their cryptocurrencies. Also Switzerland. Zug in Switzerland has been defining a very good jurisdiction for crypto companies. Although Switzerland is not the European Union, but because it's in the European Economic Zone, FINMA implemented these regulations, and it's a very nice destination to go there. Also, SEC, USA has brought forward some regulations in relation to cryptocurrencies. And lately, since the beginning of 2020, Germany and Austria, where they introduced a very strict legal framework when it comes to cryptocurrencies. Here in front of us now, we have the more international standard of each type of token. The first classification, as we already said before, is a token that is to be used for payment purposes on an exchange or a currency token. We usually say that they are VCs or cryptocurrencies. They do not provide any rights, stakeholder, shareholding rights, but is to be used to buy something from platforms that they accept crypto type of payments. Some examples of this include Bitcoin. They also include stable coins, what is a stable coin basically? Stable coin is, let's say, this is a USD stable coin. Its price is exactly equivalent to the price of the US dollar, but you don't have your money in the bank. You hold these tokens, which are exactly equivalent to US dollar. With this theory of the stable coin, a lot of projects, they have created many types of stable coins. They have created virtual currencies that they are a stable coin and they are backed by gold, for example, or by diamonds, or anything other in relation. The second classification is the investment tokens, which usually this is a very strict regulation that is regulating it. For example, Cyprus, since I'm from Cyprus, I will speak for that as an example, is being regulated by the Cyprus Security Exchange Commission, CySEC. They fall under their jurisdiction. So when you give a token, and that token you give on the business plan or the white paper, how we call it in the crypto space, when we give an expectation of profit by buying this token, then automatically we call it investment token, and you are going to be regulated by a very strict regulatory body, which is the Security Exchange Commission of the jurisdiction that you have applied for getting the license, regardless where you are based. The third type of token, it's the type of the utility token. Utility basically is the token that is not yet regulated by the most countries in the world. Not yet. Malta has regulated it, Estonia has regulated it, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, the USA. Many other countries are going forward to that direction, but internationally, you can do your own cryptocurrency, you can open a company, and you don't need special license for this type of token. So this is what I would like to share with you. Thank you for this opportunity.